It's going to change your immediate experience. So becoming this is best because it allows you to create holistically. You can say, well, this is what I want to become. I want to become a person of integrity, of loyalty, of love and peace and harmony. And if you say you want to become those things, then you see what are the rewards of that becomingness. You don't say, I want billions of dollars, and then you become evil, wicked, and corrupt, and distrustful. You become those things as due to wanting that. How many people can say, I desire what being the best person I could be has to offer? You don't hear that. That doesn't sound ambitious enough. I desire what being the most loving, peaceful, spiritual person has to offer. That's what I want, what that has to offer. Nobody gonna ask for that. They ain't not gonna ask for that. But don't that seem like it would be something sufficient? No. Don't that seem like that would be something enough? That sounds like something the Buddha would ask for. We're expecting people to become Buddhas with such requests. I want whatever being an enlightened, spiritual, harmonious person has to offer. Whatever the universe has to offer that becoming is, that's what I want. How many people are going to ask for that? They're going to say, no. I want this in particular, no matter what I have to become. No matter what it makes me. If I have to die for that, I will. Come on. This is the attitude that we have about our attachment to the material world and not our involvement in our own becomingness. So let's choose becomingness versus the emptiness of desiring. That's even higher than what the Buddha actually taught. Because you didn't give up desires for becomingness. Now you're giving up desires for the sake of becoming. Becoming is greater than the sum of any desire. Because desires are fleeting. But after you go through all of your desires, something will be left. He or she who desired, and what he or she became as due to those desires. Ain't that deep? That's what's left. When you use a camera and you take all the shots that the camera has, what's left? The impressions of every picture that the camera took. Those moments of which the camera took the pictures do not exist anymore. The moments are over with as soon as you snap the picture. But the impressions all are inside of the camera. So we are impressed. We receive the impressions of our experience. Our experiences. Our experiences leaves impressions on us long after they're gone. Ain't that deep? When you look at people, you see the impressions of their experiences. You see what they have become as due to those experiences. If people have to work in careless, uncompassionate situations, what do they become as regards to that? What type of impressions will those experiences leave on them? If you see people that work among children, look at school teachers that work with children. Look at the women that work in daycare centers and work with children. They stay young forever. Do you see the women? Look at mothers that are with their children. I mean, even people that are considered single mothers. If you see the demeanor on them, it's almost as though they have not aged. They age less. They age at a slower rate. Why? Because they're at a vibrational frequency with those children, which makes them have to become more patient. Do you see the right way? What makes them have to attune their vibration to the child. The fountain of youth is to be among children. That's the secret fountain of youth that people are looking for. Seriously. You see those school teachers and they're so nice and friendly and Don't get me wrong. There's some school teachers out here that reject becoming from those environments, and you see the rejection.
Thank you.
It was like a cartoon.
These are islands on the coast of California called the Guam Islands. Noble, could you push off? Okay.
First, and you see more impatience. It could send you either way. But I'm telling you, there's a perfect opportunity there with those children to refine the person where they're more friendlier, they have a better attitude, because they work with children. What can an adult do to you when you work with children? Just think about that. What's the stupidest thing an adult can do when you're around children all day? Children require you to have more of a patient, tolerant response. So it's not a lot adult can do when you're working among children. Because children require more tolerance and more patience, more forgivingness, and more allowance than any other humans on earth. So if you have that type of allowance and patience and tolerance to deal with children, you have no problem with adults. Because it's only the child in them that will make them act the most foolish. So if you can deal with children, then you can you can deal with the foolishness of the most foolish adults. Why? Because adults are still children. They're camouflaged and relabeled, but they're nothing but children. They're taught to be looked at differently, with different contexts, but they're nothing but children. So if you can deal with children, adults you'll laugh at the things adults do. If we saw adults as the children that they really were, there would be no more murders. There would be no more fighting. There wouldn't be no more killing. Because you'll see that these are just children. Are you serious? But the fact that we have received these labels called, this is an adult. How dare you? You should know better. You're grown. You're ready to kill people over that illusion. But when you see that this is nothing but a child, you're like, well, I can't get mad. You're a child growing and learning in the universe. And no matter how disciplined and intelligent, and no matter how refined we become, we're always children to the infinite wisdom and knowledge of the universe. So we're still a child, even if we're a step further than others in our path of discipline, in our austere virtues. We are still children to the infinite knowledge and wisdom of the universe. And we're still capable of the same type of mistakes children make coming into a world that they have never been in before, that is larger and bigger than they ever could imagine. We're still at that childlike place. Because just because we have gotten older doesn't mean that the world has gotten smaller. Our perception has gotten more smaller and more limited, but the world has not gotten any smaller. So we're still very childlike in this infinite universe. So if we realize that all the anger that we have towards one another, we'd be like, we couldn't. We would be forced to have parental responses towards one another. At the times when we be mad, we'll become nothing but parents. Do you see the point I'm making? Because we know. So my point is that those women that work with children, their attitude is different. They stay young longer. You see people and they go and they go show you their mother. They're about 20. Their mother look younger than they do. Because they either force them to get old or force them to get younger. Listen to that. Your children are either going to force you to get older or force you to get younger. If you reject and resist, You're intolerant, you're impatient, you're going to get old very quickly. You might blow a blood vessel or even have a stroke. But if you can bring yourself down to the youthful vibration and the energetic vibration of the children, then you will have to be rejuvenated. Your cells will have to take on new life. It will force you to become younger, to keep up with them in their world. Do you see what I'm saying? That's why they're able to maintain eternal youth through their association with children. Because it brings the youth out of them, the playfulness, so they can relate to the child in the child's world. So for a woman who wants to have beauty, she don't need to mess with Mary Kay and Avon. She just needs to be among the children. That type of tolerance and patience. You won't have no wrinkles if you can be among the children. You feel what I'm making? All their spending on cosmetics, nature made them a mother for a reason. You feel what I'm making? The best cosmetic liposuction surgery is to be with the children. You'll be surprised. Do you see what I'm making? The best health regimen, the children. Nature knew what it was doing. But since we have gotten so far away from nature, now we need all these unnatural things. We need makeup to make up something that ain't true. We need to make things up now. Or lie, because when you go around making up stuff, you're lying. So now we have to make up stuff and lie, because we've got away from the natural reality. Children naturally do yoga. If you watch children, they're always doing yoga. Children can teach you more about yoga than the highest masters from India. You can learn yoga from a child. They naturally do yoga. As they start elevating, you start seeing them making up their own postures. We can learn from the children. That is the nature of this universe. So my point is that now that we got this information, we got to apply it. We got to understand the divinity of becoming this. Whatever you desire is going to force you to become something. If you want to know what you're becoming, then choose to become and choose not to desire. If you desire for money, you got to become something to have money. If you desire to be a fighter, you got to become something to fight. Are you going to look up 10 years from now and say, what have I become? You got what you desired. Your desires are here. But what the hell have you become? People say, I don't know you anymore. Then we try to trick them with we're trying to share our desires with them. And they say, well, I don't know you anymore. You say, you ain't the person I married. You're not the child I raised. You have become something else. So who are you? Spiritually, you're nobody and everybody. But physically, you are becoming your thoughts. Your thoughts are forcing your own becomingness. So if you choose to become, right thought is a product of right becomingness. Right experience is a product of right becomingness. If we want right becomingness, right thought, right experience, then choose right becomingness. And accept the reality of becoming that which is right. And you avoid the pitfalls of falling into that which is wrong. Now, I want to also go into something else, which is going to be found interesting. And in that, I want to go into the reality of divine relationship and my enlightenment on that as I meditate. I accept enlightenment through divine contemplation.